Did any of your ancestors own a coat of arms? Find out at findmycoat.com.
Hi everyone, it's John from findmycoat.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about a gentleman named Sir Humphry Davy who lived in the late 1700s and early 1800s. I found him very interesting, and I hope you find him interesting as well. So here he is on the left, a rather handsome young gentleman, and the thing that stood out to me is that he inhaled 20 quarts of nitrous oxide, causing him to exclaim, "Nothing exists but thoughts." So that really piqued my interest, and I looked into it a bit further, did some digging, and found a more descriptive quote of his experience, and I wanted to read that. "The moment after I began to respire 20 quarts of unmingled nitrous oxide, a thrilling, extending from the chest to the extremities, was almost immediately produced. I felt a sense of tangible extension, highly pleasurable in every limb. My visible impressions were dazzling and apparently magnified. I heard distinctly every sound in the room and was perfectly aware of my situation. By degrees, as the pleasurable sensations increased, I lost all connection with external things. Trains of vivid, visible images rapidly passed through my mind and were connected with words in such a manner as to produce perceptions perfectly novel. When I was awakened from this semi-delirious trance by Dr. Kinglake, who took the bag from my mouth, indignation and pride were the first feelings produced by the sight of the persons about me. I endeavored to recall the ideas. They were feeble and indistinct. One collection of terms, however, presented itself, and with the most intense belief and prophetic manner I exclaimed to Dr. Kinglake, 'Nothing exists but thoughts. The universe is composed of impressions, ideas, pleasures, and pains.'" So I found that interesting, and I just did a little bit more digging on him. And turns out he was born in Cornwall, England, the son of an upper middle class landowner. He was a chemist and inventor, which helps explain the fact that he was experimenting with nitrous oxide, of course. And in 1808, he reported to the Royal Society that he had successfully isolated 4 new metals. So he did quite a bit in the field of chemistry, and several years later, he ended up being knighted. And after that, he was approached by coal miners who knew he was very smart and wanted to enlist his help in developing a new lamp that they could use in their mines, because the one that they were currently using was causing explosions when the open flame would meet with certain gases, such as the Felling mine disaster incident of 1812 near Newcastle, when over 90 miners died in an explosion. And he came up with the design on the right over here, which had a wick that was enclosed in a mesh screen, which helped reduce explosions and helped save many lives. And for this and for his scientific achievements, he was given the title of Baronet. And I'd like to read this brief newspaper snippet to you from the London Gazette. "His Royal Highness, the Prince Regent, has been pleased, in the name and on the behalf of His Majesty, to direct letters patent to be passed under the Great Seal of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, for granting the dignity of a baronet of the said United Kingdom to Sir Humphry Davy, of Grosvenor Street, in the parish of St. George, Hanover Square, in the county of Middlesex, Knight, Doctor of Laws, and to the heirs male of his body lawfully begotten. So a baronet was the holder of a baronetcy, which was a hereditary title awarded by the British Crown. Sort of like, a minor nobleman is maybe a good way for the common person to think of it. It was awarded by the Prince Regent, who later went on to become King George IV of the United Kingdom. And as part of becoming a baronet, he received a coat of arms that was blazoned as follows: sable, a chevron engraved erminoi between two annulets in chief or, and in base a flame proper, with the motto Igne Constricto Vita Secura. Now, the flame shown in the base of the coat of arms is clearly commemorative of his invention of the Davy lamp, which helped save many lives, as is his motto, which translates from Latin to English as "Fire restrained, our lives are secure." And lastly, the elephant's head in the crest was found on the tombs of his ancestors in Norfolk in the 15th century. And sometimes it's thought that elephants' heads in the crest are thought to be symbolic of achievements that ancestors made or one made in the Far East, although I would have to do more digging to verify that claim in this case. Here is his grave in Switzerland. Unfortunately for him, he died without any children, no heirs, and his baronetcy became extinct, and the coat of arms was not passed on.